Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we actually have a really big kind of news coming out over here that's Microsoft is essentially trying its best to now once again go and compete and throw some punches with Sony themselves, but they're doing it now once again in a separate way. Like right now, it kind of seems like there's like 5 or so different ways that we keep on seeing Xbox and PlayStation going back and back. PlayStation pushing for live service gaming, while we also from big exclusive, Xbox going for Game Pass, and now we're seeing even more stuff with this, with basically Microsoft trying their best to go and pull some really big Chinese markets and trying to get some more gaming hits to go and compete against Sony. So this should be a pretty good article and a pretty good thing to go discuss on, and I would love to hear your thoughts down below. As well, if any of you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, $500 giveaway too, so Twitter and Twitch down below for extra bonus entries. We do also have the Weeble down below. You also want to do the Target links and Amazon signups too for all the good stuff, and let's dive into the video. So as I mentioned, Microsoft and PlayStation have been going kind of head and head when it comes to who's going to win what demographics they want. As I mentioned, Sony wants to push a lot of the single-player games and live service, good consoles, etc. While then we also have Microsoft pushing for cloud gaming, Game Pass, and as well buying up a lot of big competitors, Bethesda, Activision, all of that. So now we're going to go and see their next big step, which is where Microsoft powers up the search for Chinese gaming hits, now apparently in the race against Sony too as well. Especially in Hong Kong, Microsoft Corp is stocking up on Chinese video game content to emulate now Sony Group's success with Genshin Impact, sources said, solidifying China's transition from a land only of players to a hub of blockbuster developers. The US software giant and Japan's vanguard of technology have for some years been offering big money to small developers to nurturing programs and licensed titles, but the impact of Genshin Impact has added a sense of urgency, sources said. The action role-playing game from budding Shanghai studio moheIO has generated billions of dollars since its release 2 years ago, and raised the bar in multiplayer, cross-platform games, and type sources said Microsoft and Sony seek in China for their Game Pass or PlayStation Plus services. Now, I played a lot of Genshin. We've seen other games such as Tower Fantasy do very well, mainly on the microtransactions, people trying to get waifus. I think I've done like 2 sponsors even for Genshin Impact as well. Now, it's a good game, and it's just a lot of, like I said, a lot of gacha type style stuff. So think of Clash of Clans, Raid Shadow Legends, etc. And, well, they print money. So right now, it doesn't seem like PlayStation or Microsoft have their own individual money printing gacha machine. Now, mobile is full with this. There's a lot of big games like Ark Knights, and like I said, Raid or Clash of Clans or other microtransaction-based games. But one of the biggest things to kind of go and note is, as like I said, consoles, they might have it, like say PlayStation has Genshin, but they don't own one or work very closely or have a lot of really big exclusive rights. So growing Western interest in Chinese games reflect the maturing of China's game development industry. And they have like 1 billion people. There's going to be some good game devs out there, and there's also a lot of profitability throughout the world. Some people only play MMOs like say from Korea or Japan or Asian style MMOs because they've been out for quite some time and they come to American markets. So basically, Chinese games are now getting to the point where they're on par with big budget Western games, said Daniel Ahmed, senior analyst at researcher Nico Partners. Chinese game developers are trying to standardize their development tools, create advanced production processes, invest in really large-scale teams, Ahmed said. Ultimately, that helps provide them with a competitive edge to reach a broad audience both in terms of geography and platforms. Microsoft has been building a team to scout for Chinese games, 2 industry sources now have said. So they're scheming. They're trying to find, these like small indie studios of like 10, 20, 30 people and be like, hey, we're Microsoft. Like, we'll go make your team. We'll buy you out if we can. We'll give you a bunch of money for Game Pass or whatever it may be. Come join, work with us. We'll make sure you got money. We'll push your games in Western markets, advertising, Xbox, homepage, or Game Pass deals, whatever it may be. And also, I'm sure we have PlayStation doing the same, where they're trying to be like, hey, we'll give you $10 million, or hey, we'll give you front page promotion. You'll get a lot of sales, or hey, we'll give you a good cut, whatever it might be. There's always these business deals and marketing deals going on. So very intriguing to see. So basically, they're trying to standardize their development tools, create advanced production processes, and also invest in large-scale teams. So all that stuff is big stuff to go and build it as well. That's good. So ultimately, that helps provide them with the competitive edge too as well. So they want to be able to go have their games hit every market. Think Genshin Impact. They want that in China, Europe, Japan, Australia, wherever it may be, because if you can just have to change the localization and text, you can make a lot more extra money pretty quickly. So Microsoft has been building a team to scout for Chinese games, two industry sources have said. The Xbox maker mainly filled its subscription roster with big brand titles, but is now wooing even independent studios with big money offers, they said. At the same time, a filing showed Microsoft is expanding its subscription service to personal computers and handheld devices, which is always nice to see with cloud gaming, increasing the appeal of Chinese developers such as moreFind, which have developed a reputation for multiplayer, cross-platform compatibility, with Genshin Impact being a prime example. One executive whose studio signed a licensing deal with Microsoft 3 years ago to feature its game on Game Pass said the US firm recently offered a licensing deal many times even bigger for a sequel. And now, if you're a game studio, maybe you're dormant or maybe you've been sitting around, if you have a big studio like Microsoft or Xbox being like, hey, we'll go give you an extra $50 million. Let's go make this game, give us like some good rights or Game Pass rights or whatever. Some people might be like, yes. But obviously some people are skeptical, saying we're not signing it yet because we think that when we fully complete our game, it will get an even better offer, the executive said. Which, granted though, that if that's like an established studio and they already had a good game and Microsoft is talking with them, that probably means that they probably have a good player base, they have a good audience, and they're going to probably be able to go and get a lot more good stuff with it. So, yeah, I would say good things. Good things all along. So, cool for them. So, illustrating the money involved, filings showed Microsoft paid $2.5 million to feature action game Ark Survival Evolved on Game Pass. And then I'm still surprised on this. I think we made a video when this came out. $2.3 million for the sequel of Ark 2, both from US developer studio Wildcard, owned by China Snail Games. I'm actually still very surprised that they literally paid less money for Ark 2. I still don't get that. You would think it'd be the reverse, at least at the bare minimum. I'm just saying, it also kind of seems kind of a lower number too as well, because I felt like Ark was a very popular game, and I think they could probably make more than $2.3 million on just Xbox sales, but that's just me, Xbox and PC sales. So an executive at another developer, Recreate Games in Shanghai, said his company signed a deal with Microsoft last year for its upcoming multiplayer title, Party Animals, which has also been a cool game too as well, very good on PC. So Xbox contacted many projects in China, and these projects primarily focused on developing console and PC games, said Chief Executive Liu Zhaoong. Microsoft, funny enough, did not go any comments. So Microsoft was slower off the mark in China compared with Sony. The Japanese firm launched gaming accelerator program China Hero Project in 2017, so it does kind of seem like Sony's been the head over there, as well to basically go help Chinese developers publish games on PlayStation. So it's had 17 titles so far, which 7 have reached the market. We've been quiet for the past 2 years, but the program is still very much humming along as well. Basically, the manager of the China Hero Project stated, "We are proud of all games which have successfully emerged from the program. There is no doubt there will be a new batch coming." So in 2019, Sony partnered with moreFind, good old Genshin Impact 2 as well, and the game was a global hit that was released later on that year. So it does seem like, Sony's had some good deals floating around in general, but the console version's only on PlayStation. So Microsoft regretted missing out on Genshin Impact, and that's kind of why they're pushing this Chinese market more and trying to find these next big hits. Two people familiar with the matter said. Spoke to them Ohio early in the game's development, but did not reach a deal, one of them said. The other person said the experience is the driving force behind Microsoft's more active pursuit of Chinese developers. Picking up Genshin Impact made Sony a lot of money, the second person said. Declined to be identified because the information was not public. There is no public data for console review from Genshin Impact, but data from Sensor Tower put the figure at $3 billion. So now you can probably see why Sony and Microsoft want to dive on into this too as well. So we also have the market evolution, which obviously is kind of to the point. Like sometimes you can find these games that make a lot of money, so you want to make a lot of money, so then you go and make these games, and you do it so you can make a lot of money at the end of the day. So basically, Chinese gamers mostly played more imported titles, as homegrown games are viewed as kind of poorer and just kind of mediocre. But ever since even, Tencent's been involved, it's kind of been stepping up more and more. So the market grew, and the world's largest local studios increasingly invested more money, got better quality games, better consumers, better game devs, and basically the trend accelerated with regulatory restrictions on new games and limits on the number of imports. The benefited from the return of engineers who had worked at top-tier studios, such as Ubisoft as well. Like, they're just basically trying to get a few folks everywhere. Gaming executives now point to Genshin Impact as a global industry milestone, lauding its production value and seamless cross-platform gameplay. Apple as well even used the game to demonstrate the power of its premium devices, including a new iPad Air equipped with its latest M1 processors. So I want to hear your thoughts, because it kind of seems like they're both trying their best, like both Sony and Microsoft understand that the Chinese market, Asian markets are big deals, and they want to make huge steps into it. So it's going to be even almost another big competitive fight between the two of them to see what they can go and get. So very interesting stuff, and I thought kind of an interesting article, so shout out to Reuters for that. Make sure you guys are subscribed, give me your thoughts down below, and put on the notifications. We got that giveaway link too as well for the $500, so get the Twitter and Twitch down below for those bonus entries. And of course, we do have the Target Amazon links too. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.